testified that the farmland measuring 3.2 hectares he bought from Amadou Arua had been the Arua family land from time immemorial, that the land was founded by Dangana, Amadou Arua's ancestor, about 200 years ago. At about the same time when the Busa's ancestors deforested their farmland, that Dangana, who deforested the land when it was a virgin forest with no trace of human existence thereon, was inherited by his son, Ali Dangana, after he joined his ancestors. And Ali Dangana continued the exclusive ownership of the land by farming thereon. According to the counter-claimant, that Dangana and his son farmed side by side with Nyaholo and Waziri Nyaholo of the Busa family. They were boundary neighbors who related closely like brothers. Thus, there was a strong tie between them, which still exists today among their grandchildren. The Ali Dangana waxed very old, and his son Bakwa Arua inherited him and continued farming on the land. He was later joined by his son Amadou Arua, who later inherited him after his death. And the Arua farmed exclusively on the land till he contracted the defendant sometimes in 2003 through Alayi Busa, who had earlier sold his own family land to the defendant. He sold his portion of the family land to him. According to the counter-claimant, that the exclusive ownership of the land from Dangana to the counter-claimant spanned over 200 years without let or hindrance to the title by the plaintiff or anyone else. That the Arua family land was bounded to the east by farmland belonging to the Busa family, a substantial part of which is sold to him, to the west by farmland belonging to Kaura Kabari, to the south by farmland belonging to late Makama Kure, and to the north by farmland belonging to Ibrahim Madaki, Sekin Hasawa, that Dikoti Busa, Yamusa, and John Akwanga have passed on to glory. According to the counter-claimant, that the plaintiff claims a negligible part of the land he counter-claimed. He counter-claimant purchased from the Busa Zarua family as described above. He does not know the exact portion the plaintiff lay claim to, and that whatever portion he lays claim to does not belong to him. That neither the plaintiff nor his phobias have ever had anything to do with any portion of the land belonging to the defendant described above. The counter-claimant also stated that the land was not deforested by Madaki Sobonya or anyone related to him, and the land never devolved to Naala, Madaki, and Mamman because their purported phobias never had any interest in the land. That the plaintiff is a fictitious person, and that he demands proof of his identity, which should include national ID card, driver's license, international passport, or academic certificates, and that the plaintiff is a gold digger. He has no interest whatsoever in the land in dispute. According to the counter-claimant, that he visited the land sometime in 2016 only to discover several acts of trespass by the defendants to counter-claim, some of whom have erected a complete building, some others built foundation, and a few others erected beacons on portions of the land. That he painstakingly visited the land on a daily basis and stayed there for several hours for the sole purpose of meeting and identifying the trespassers. That after a long while, he identified the defendants to counter-claim as the trespassers and a few others whose names are not known and who are sued as unknown persons in this suit. That he thereafter filed a direct criminal complaint against them before Senior Magistrate Court Maraba for criminal trespass and mischief, among other offenses. That while in the court, most of the defendants to counter-claim had laid claim to the ownership of the land, and that led him to join them to this suit. The following documents were admitted as exhibit in the court of the evidence of the counter-claimant. 1. Land sale agreement between Diko T. Busa and Edward Pam, dated 3/3/2000, was admitted and marked as exhibit A. Land sale agreement between Busa Diko, Edward Pam, dated 4/2/2000, was admitted and marked as exhibit B. Land sale agreement between Yamusa and Alayai family and Edward Pam, dated 14/2/2003, was admitted and marked as exhibit C. Land sale agreement between Mr. Yamusa Busa and Alayai Busa family and Edward Pam, dated 24/2/2003, was admitted and marked as exhibit T. Site plan in the name of Edward Pam with hectarage of 9.8 hectares was admitted and marked as exhibit E. Agreement for sale of land between Amadou Arua Ango Aliu and Musa Aliu, and the buyer, Edward Pam, dated 16/7/2003, was admitted and marked as Exhibit F. Aid Movers Services Limited cash invoice number 35, dated 15th of August 2005, in the name of Edward Pam, for the sum of $300,000 admitted and marked as Exhibit G. Site plan to accompany an application for RO4 over 3.27 hectares of land in the name of Edward Pam was admitted and marked as Exhibit H. CTC of the direct criminal complaint dated 13th March 2017 was admitted and marked as Exhibit I. Civil subpoena of High Court of Justice of Nasarawa State in suit number NSD/MG70/2012, dated 6th of December 2013, issued to the Honorable Commissioner for Land Survey and Town Planning, Nasarawa State, was admitted and marked as Exhibit J. Agreement for sale of land between Edward Pam and Musa Adamu, dated 9/6/2013, was admitted and marked as Exhibit J1. Agreement for sale of land between Edward Pam and John Joseph, dated 23/12/2012, was admitted and marked as Exhibit J2. The case of the 8th defendant, as pleaded and led in evidence by its sole witness, was that the 8th defendant to counterclaim has acquired its land by purchase and has been in peaceful possession of same since 2008, before the defendant counterclaimer joined the 8th defendant to counterclaim in 2018. That the 8th defendant to counterclaim has title to its land and that it is the rightful owner of the land it occupies and never a trespasser. According to the 8th defendant to counterclaim that it is currently occupying a parcel of land measuring about 3.16 hectares situated at Ado Kubaru Road, Anakomi, local government area of Nasarawa State, which is lawfully acquired through purchase from one Mrs. Mabel Amoni Okwonu through his agent Anthony Iwebu, who is late now. But the 8th defendant to counterclaim is the northern branch of a registered cooperative society entitled NEPA Festac District Staff Cooperative Thrift and Credit Society, registered as number LSCS, dated the 2nd of February 1996. According to the 8th defendant to counterclaim that sometime in 2008, one Mr. Anthony Iwebono, now deceased, approached the executives of the 8th defendant to counterclaim and informed them that he was a land agent and that his client, Mrs. Mabel Amoni Akwonu, had a piece of estate land, about 3.4 hectares, situated at Ado Kubaru Road, Anakomi, local government area of Nasarawa State, and that she was desirous of selling the said land. At the 8th defendant to counterclaim also stated that at the point of negotiation for purchase of the said land, Anthony Iwebonu, late, informed the 8th defendant to counterclaim that his client, Mrs. Mabel Amoni Okwonu, bought the said land from Edward Pam, who was his business associate. That the purchase of the said 3.4 hectares of land was evidenced by purchase agreement receipt dated the 10th day of September 2008, after the full payment for the said land. That upon seeing the title documents to the land presented by Mabel Amoni Okwonu during negotiation and the size of the land therein was 2.40 hectares, the 8th defendant to counterclaim informed Anthony Iwebonu that the size of the land on the title document does not tally with the negotiated size of 3.4 hectares. That based on the discrepancy in the size of the land, Mabel Amoni Okwonu informed the 8th defendant to counterclaim, which was confirmed by Anthony Iwebonu, that at the time of purchase by Mabel Amoni Okwonu, the land was not measured, but only estimated, and that the area presently fenced by the 8th defendant to counterclaim is where Mabel Amoni Okwonu erected her beacons, the presence of Edward Pam after purchase. According to the 8th defendant to counterclaim that since it was Anthony Iwebonu who introduced Mrs. Mabel Amoni Okwonu to its executives, and in view of the fact that she was not always available due to the nature of her job. According to her, during the negotiation and citing of title documents, the 8th defendant to counterclaim agreed with Anthony Iwebonu and Mrs. Mabel Amoni Okwonu. Somebody is gisting. I said, if you want to gist, go outside and go and gist. I gave you this hint since from the beginning. You want to distract my work. This is a spiritual work I'm doing. I don't need distraction. It is true, I don't need distraction. You won't understand. Even me, as I'm reading, I'm understanding it also by myself. You will not understand it.